girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done now. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done. Girls with their nails done.
Hello everyone and welcome. Crash here, there's RTA Motorsports, and today we're going to be jumping into a little bit of iRacing. It's been a little bit since we've had a chance to race, but we're going to be doing more testing with the SimXperience G-Belt. Also, we have some other products coming in too, so I'm kind of getting a little behind on these races and reviews. We have to get going on them, and I'm very excited to do so. So let's make sure that everything is working here. It looks like everything as far as the stream is going. Let me make sure chat is working as it should. Let's refresh the cache. I'm just going to write test. We do have the vertical and the horizontal stream going at the same time. There we go. Boom. Okay, good. We are good to go. Well, I hope everyone is doing great. I hope you all had a great weekend. If you haven't heard, I'm going to be going to Monterey Car Week, which is a huge car show that pretty much takes over all of Monterey as well as some surrounding cities and towns in about 11 days. I'm going to be going with Jesse from Cars and Coffees. We're going to be live streaming, creating content, doing some videos. We're going to be going from the 13th through the 17th. So if you see us there at any one of the shows, definitely stop by, say hi. It would be great to kind of meet you all, but we're going to be doing some live streams, some videos. Yeah, and hopefully it all works out really well. I just picked up a new 360 camera, so that way we could, also get some video content going for you all who cannot attend Monterey Car Week. I think it'd be pretty cool to kind of be able to take you all along for the ride for the car show, because I'm definitely grateful for the experience to be able to go to, you know, some crazy shows like this. And hopefully this is the first of many. We actually have been to this car show before. It's been 2 years though since we've been able to go. And yeah, I would definitely love to get some other shows going as well. Maybe one day SEMA. But yeah, I don't know if that's going to work this year. But yeah, hopefully. Hopefully. Let's see. I am getting an error on my wheel saying wheel cannot be found. All right, I think the power cable was like pulled out a little bit. There we go. Now it's calibrating. Okay. All right, we got it going. We got to go. That would have been a mess, right? Start this whole live stream and then boom, all of a sudden we can't actually do anything. All right, I may have to restart the SimXperience app because now it's telling me that it can't find the wheelbase. Let's see. Hopefully we don't have to like restart the computer or nothing crazy like that. Prepare for device calibration. Find that it mainly is referring to either motion rigs or, in my case, the belt. There we go. All right. Let's see if we could actually get it working now. Huh. Now it's saying the belt can't be found. Try it again. There we go. Now I feel the belt. All right, the belt just calibrated on both sides. That didn't happen before. See if we get that error again. Boom. Okay. Now it all worked. What happens when you have like motion rigs and everything? Sometimes you run into like all these crazy issues. All right, so let's jump into the qualifier, and I'm going to be using the Chevy Corvette Z06 GT3R. Qualifiers at 7:30. I'm sorry, the qualifier is at 6:30. The race is at 7. So we're definitely going to have some good amount of time to practice. Looks like the race is just, for this Ricmotech Ring Miser, race is just like 3 laps around the Nurburgring. So that should be about half hour or so, half-hour race. And interestingly enough, when I was jumping into iRacing this time, I had to do 3 separate update queues, which was weird. I've never had to do that before. 3 separate updates. Where it would go through an update. I would select the race again. It would go through an update again, select a race, and then it would say like there was another group of cars that didn't quite update. It would do that also. Kind of ridiculous. But we're finally done with the updates. Let's see. It's registering me now for the session. Waiting until scheduled time. Oh, it's not going to let me in early. Interesting. Let's just get on track and we'll make sure that the sim is running fine, and then we'll get out and then we'll join the qualifier. I would hate to like run out of time at the qualifier, not be able to actually qualify. $10 minutes till the qualifier, so that should be enough time to get on track and make sure everything is working the way it should. There we go. Join. So yeah, just to give you all a heads up, Pimax reached out. So that's very big news for me in this channel here. Pimax reached out and they're sending us the Pimax Crystal headset to test and review. So I pretty much started this channel around sim racing and everything based on sim racing. But now, you know, they must have seen some of my older videos regarding VR, because I've pretty much been in VR since the beginning of the Oculus DK1 days. We started with the Razer OS VR and really getting that working with my first rig. And all the way on up, we've tried many different of the headsets that were out there, whether it was Windows Mixed Reality, Steam, Meta, previously Oculus. And so yeah, they reached out. They wanted to send us their Crystal, their Pimax Crystal, and they're going to be offering to that for us to wow, I can't even talk. They're offering us that headset to review. It's going to be on a loan, so not necessarily going to be keeping the headset, but I mean that's awesome. You know, I would love to get many other things on loan, so that way we could get some of this content going. Being able to, you know, do a review-based channel is quite difficult in that respect, because a lot of the products, pretty much everything I've purchased, so, you know, being able to keep up with new products that are released is very difficult. So I'm very appreciative of the opportunity. And one cool thing is I told them if I couldn't be brutally honest with what I thought about the headset, they told me that they welcome that and they want to hear brutally honest opinions, especially in the sim racing world. They're trying to make more of an impact specifically for sim racing, so they want to know exactly what we think, which is great to hear. So expect that to be coming soon. I did just get shipping information, so it should be here pretty shortly. Very excited about that. All right, so let's jump in the car and make sure that that is all working. All right, for some reason, the head camera is frozen. But we can refresh it. There we go. Yeah, if that camera starts messing up again and we lose our point of view camera, I'll just switch it to game view. No big deal. Just hopefully it doesn't do it while we're in the middle of the race when I can't do anything about it. All right. Oh, what the heck? The wheel center is completely off. All right, that at least we can fix. Haven't had to mess with that in a long time. See, this is a good thing that we are kind of doing this real quick. All right, wheel center, boom, right there, safe, successful, and then we'll. All right. All right, more than likely, we're going to have to go back in and... Yeah. Let's go and reset the wheel in here. All right, there we go. Oh, darn it. Have it set to 900 degrees rotation. Boom. All right, cool. So let's get out of here. Let's join the qualifying. Qualifying situation should be starting any moment. Let's withdraw from this practice session. Good thing we did that, because we may have like lost time and not been able to actually qualify with an actual lap. So, all right, the Chevy Corvette Z06 GT3R. Love that car. Hopefully Jesse's having a good race in his sessions. All right, so we got 2 minutes, 50 seconds. It says registering, waiting until scheduled time for server launch. So yeah, camera wise, let's talk about that, being that we have a little bit of time for the Monterey Car Week. I picked up, so I always had a DJI Osmo camera. Let's change this view over. I've always had a DJI Osmo camera, and I actually picked up a Insta360, but the X4, not the current X5. Reason being, I never record with that camera, and now I say it, it's probably going to happen all the time, but I never record with any of my 360 cameras at night. And the biggest difference with the X4 and the X5 seems to be night footage and just its ability to record at night, which I greatly respect, because it's a huge difference, especially if you need that sort of workflow. The problem that I have is I never really do that too often, ever, really recording at night. And there was a huge sale price with the X4 versus the X5. The X5, I was looking at it like Costco and Best Buy, and it was like $550, versus the X4 was like $370. So it just didn't really make any sense for me to spend that extra money. I do enjoy the notion of like being able to replace that lens on the X5, especially being that I one wheel. But there is like, you know, the premium lens covers, even though they do give a little bit of a glare, you know, that is an option. And I ended up having some points, so I ended up using my points to buy the lens covers on the X4 versus, you know, having the option to buy replacement lenses for the X5. So it's not to me to say like the X5 is a bad camera at all. It's not a bad camera. I'm sure it's amazing, especially the night mode is, you know, a night and day difference, but between the X5 and the X4. But I just, for my workflow, it just didn't really make sense to spend that, you know, significant extra money for the X5 when the X4 was on such a discount. And really, the daytime shooting is not that much different from one to the other. So we ended up going with the X4. I'm also going to be bringing my DJI Osmo. I think I'm going to probably do more of like video type footage, video coverage of the Monterey Car Week. I may do some live streams as well, because I do have my DJI camera system, microphone system, and it should be able to connect to my phone and work. So we'll definitely give that a shot. But yeah. See, it still says it's registering, waiting for the scheduled start time for the servers, but it is 6:30 now. So what's happening? First time I'm doing one of these, like, oh, there we go. Join. Yeah, first time I'm doing one of these qualifyings for the Nurburgring or any sort of race where the qualifying's outside the race session. So that was kind of a new experience for me to experience. Yeah. There, see? All right. We do have Crew Chief going. Crew Chief had quite a few updates since the last time I was in. Hopefully it doesn't have any sort of issues. But yeah, I'm very excited about this new Pimax headset. I really don't know what to expect from the headset itself. I think it's going to be pretty cool though, to try some VR again, because I've been on monitor for a while. Of course, I do use my Meta Quest 3 from time to time, not too often, but I do use it from time to time. But yeah, it's gonna be nice to get into some premium VR again, especially the Pimax Crystal. I've already been looking at this headset for some time. It's gonna be kind of cool. I can't wait. Can't wait to unbox it and see. It does look different than my Pimax 5K Plus that I have. The Pimax 5K Plus, quite a bit wider. It looks like it has bigger lenses than the Crystal that they're sending me, but everyone does still comment on the it is fixed setup. Okay. Cloudy out too. Everyone seems to comment on the FOV and the size of the FOV. Yeah. So, all right, here we go. Let's jump on track and let's get this qualifying going. Kind of wonder how many laps I'm going to get. All right, we got the flying start. Did you guys see the Nurburgring lap? The new Corvette ZR1, ZR1X, and the Z06? What did you guys think? Have you seen that? Cold tires, so I'm trying to be very careful. Car feels very, very darty, which could be dangerous on cold tires. I should be able to, when the tires are warm, be flat out through there with the downforce, but I didn't want to try it. Cold tires, so. Notice none of the telemetry is on the screen right now. I'll fix it before the race starts. Got just a pure in-car view. A lot of people are disconnecting. I'm not really sure why. Hopefully it's not related to incidences. Definitely could be though. Sounds so good. I noticed on the ZR1 video where they were at the ring, the exit was kind of rough there. Kind of got thrown out of the carousel a little bit. Definitely kudos to those drivers. I know GM was definitely pushing hard that they're just engineers, but I think all three of them were actually accomplished drivers too. Probably the only reason why they're not pro drivers is because they have a career in engineering and they get to drive still. Ooh, a little light there. A little slidey action. I don't think I'm going to be anywhere near that fast. Kind of been a little bit easy on it this whole time. Yeah, we're already at 621. It'd be nice to have those turbos from the 01 right now. $6.49. Just over 7 minutes. 7:05. So definitely pretty slow for what a GT3 car should be able to do. But I wanted to make sure that we got a lap in. Also, we haven't practiced. This was our first lap here with this car. So, all right. So let's kick this back here. All right. That was fun. So now we're going to just join a practice session. See if we could really improve on that time. I don't know why this is skipping. Yeah, I'm not really sure. Let me refresh this camera. Could be related to the camera. Let's see. Let's deactivate the camera. Check 1, 2. Yeah, it's like skipping. Why is it doing that? That's really weird. Not really sure why that's happening. See if I could figure it out real quick. Yeah, we're still skipping. Seems like it just started right at the very end of that last session, where this one camera is skipping. I'm not really sure why. Let me try one more thing. We'll try a different format. Seems like it's cleared up now. Yeah, it's still kind of doing its thing. Let's see. Check 1, 2. Oh, that's even worse. All right. We'll leave it like this. I think this is probably the best that we're going to be able to get it. Seems like it's smoother. I did lower the frame rate down. I'm not sure if that's really going to help or not. But we'll see. I did shut everything down. Still seems to be fairly smooth. It's kind of like glitching here and there, but we'll roll with it. It is what it is. All right. One thing I am finding with the G-Belt is that it seems to be hit and miss whether or not it seems to find the G-Belt itself in the software. There it goes. It just found it again. So you have to like restart the software sometimes a few times. It may be related to like where I have it plugged into USB wise. Might be. I don't know. But I kind of have a feeling it isn't. We do have a race that's going to be starting soon. I should be able to join the race. It's only starting in about like 13 minutes. There we go. Okay, so we can register for it. So let's get registered for this race session and let's get going. GT3. And we'll make sure, because I was qualifying, I didn't want to like stop in the middle of my lap, even though my lap wasn't great. So, I mean, I probably could have and not changed my position with a 705 in a GT3 car. It's kind of embarrassing, but that's really where practice comes in, because I'm sure as we're going to be doing this race session by like lap 2, lap 3, I'm going to be sub 7 minutes, probably like 750, 745. Doubt I'm going to be in the 730s or anything like that. But yeah, let's make sure that we can get all this stuff on the screen so that way you don't have to wonder what's going on. You'll be able to see all the normal telemetry that we have. All the normal stuff. But yeah, I'm super excited about Car Week. Hopefully everyone else is. We get to see a lot of supercars that honestly, otherwise, you kind of hope is present at a Cars and Coffee and certain events like that. But Monterey Car Week, a lot of people bring out their super rare, ultra like one of one type cars, and that's where it happens, is at Monterey Car Week. You see a lot of beautiful vehicles just being on display, especially at the end. Exotics on Broadway is going to be a real amazing special event to really be at, and I cannot wait to really experience it. I know 2 years ago, Exotics on Broadway, we had Horatio Pagani was there, and he was, signing autographs and meeting fans. And that was a really special thing to see. And, hear him talk and be able to see him up close. And I didn't get a signature from him myself, but just to be there and kind of see it happen, be able to see him and see all of his cars there. There was a car club of Paganis that was there. There was a car club of specifically Zondas that was there. Koenigsegg was there with his cars, and there was a car club of his cars that was there. There was a bunch of Hennessy Venoms that were together in their own little car club. It's an amazing celebration of engineering and racing heritage in Monterey, which is, how can you ask for more? It's an absolute beautiful location to be in to experience these cars. All right, let's get the belts tightened down. Belt should be working. There we go. Yep, they're working, and they are pulling me. They are yanking on me. So let's get the race view going. We're gonna have to edit this on every single one of them. Oh yeah, look at that. So now telemetry is deciding to work. Thank you, telemetry. I appreciate you every time. What am I missing here? Where is... There it is. Okay. All right, there we go. All right, so we got the vertical and the horizontal setup. Let's get on track. This is a fixed race. Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, that's where he's starting. That's where they're starting him. All right. I'm gonna let this BMW go. Oh, he wants... I don't know. We'll figure it out. Someone go, please. I'm hearing that the BMW does really well at this track. So now we're practicing. I'm gonna push a little bit harder just to really feel what's possible with this car. Oh yeah, we're pushing bad on cold tires, so yep. Still really good turning. Got debris on the track. That's what that flag stands for. Woo! Oh yeah. On throttle push. That's what I'm experiencing. Also, there was a lot of rocks on the track there, so. Oh, we got a Porsche in the wall. There we go. Alright, we're going off. Yep. So again, the difference is I'm pushing really hard in some areas right now just to kind of see what's possible, especially with the tires kind of cold. Because I know people are going to drive hard on lap 1, so I'm kind of wanting to see what's going on. This is the Corvette Z06 GT3R. We're in the Rick Motec Ring Miser series. It's an official series. We're not racing yet. We're going to be racing in just a few moments, actually. This is practice. We did a qualifying where I put down an abysmal. Oh, okay. How come I'm not hearing Crew Chief talk to me? Crew Chief didn't say much. Crew Chief is on, though. You can see the belts kind of pulling on my shoulders. Ah. That was no good. Let's go back to the pits. Oh, cool. We're getting to start a little bit back. All right, we got a good window between cars. Oh! I don't know. Maybe the qualifying setup gave me a little bit more grip than I was expecting. Saab Racing 93, have you raced this series before? And if so, what car are you currently racing it in? I hear a lot of people are using the BMW. The BMW has a lot of good luck here. I know Jesse's racing with the BMW here as well. I didn't purchase the BMW, so that's why we're not using it. Definitely interested in using that car in the future if it's going to be beneficial. Big slide. Jeez. So this did not happen during the qualifying. Granted, I didn't push as hard as I am. So hopefully the race session we get this thing a little bit more under control. I'm starting to think maybe I should just drive like how I did during qualifying, which is not going to be that competitive, unfortunately, I don't think, with a 7:05 lap time. A lot of these, yeah, we're pushing much harder. Could be track conditions too are different, because in the qualifying, it was cool, it was overcast, so I'm sure track conditions has a lot to do with the amount of grip that we had, especially early on. Whoa! Wow! Oh man, this is kind of embarrassing. We didn't even come near a wall once during qualifying. And Jesse was saying in his stream, someone brought up something about this car, and Jesse was saying that he was seeing that people were really struggling with it. Qualifying felt good, so I'm a little dumbfounded at the moment. Maybe I just didn't have enough temperature in the tires for the current track conditions. Pull over because race should be starting. Yep, down on the bottom, your race is ready. There we go. Let's go to the race session. All right, so I think honestly it probably had a lot to do with tire temperatures, if I had to guess. And we're still getting some like skipping from the Elgato. It's a little upsetting. Actually, it's happening on both the cameras now. So as long as it's not happening on this main one, it's something I'm going to have to take a look at another time. But yeah, not really sure what's happening there. But it's Elgato in as a whole. So it's got to be like some bandwidth issue because wherever this camera is, working fine. Wherever these two are plugged into, for some reason, giving me a hard time. Also, I know that I'm running a 7950X3D CPU. The motherboard that I have, I know there's been some serious updates for the motherboard, like serious updates for like the from the wow, I can't talk today. For the firmware, there's been some updates for the BIOS. So would that help here? Not sure. Kind of hope it's not like, you know, Windows updates are occurring in the background, because honestly, that could be it. And that has happened to me before, where Windows updates were in the background, just kind of doing their thing. All right, here we go. So let's do some practice. Got 5 minutes left to practice. If you haven't driven the Corvette, it's a very like darty car. Front end feels like it's got a lot of grip. Looks like we qualified P2. Extremely surprising. Maybe a lot of people are not putting down qualifying laps, so hopefully that doesn't mean that I'm going to be the first target for those quick drivers that didn't put down a lap. And again, I am sorry, I'm not really sure what's happening where my camera views are kind of glitching and skipping. Oh, no. Cars definitely behave a little unpredictably when the tires are cold and you're it's still like the initial lap out. I just crab walked a little bit. On throttle, understeer. That's kind of the problem with this car. I mean, I guess it's better than oversteer. Have the rear end kind of sliding out all over the place. For sure. See if there's any sort of game mode with Windows that's on that's affecting me right now. You know, it's gonna make, yeah, it's gonna window this. Let's see, let's turn this off. Probably not gonna take an effect. I don't know. All right, so we are P2. You can see we got some BMWs around us right now. We got Steven Suttles next to us, Sarah Maria Spiller in P3, Kyle Windsor P4, Samuel Richards 2 in P5. I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller. If it's gonna be glitching out, I don't need to be on there. So I am going to let the Porsche go ahead, because this is a really tight circuit. Here we go. 3 laps. There we go. Still holding P2. About 3 seconds back is Kyle Wisner. Oh no! P1 just went right into the wall. Car is not wanting to turn in like normal. Doesn't feel as darty as it did before. I'm experiencing a lot of understeer. Currently in P1, guys. You heard that front end start sliding. Little crab walk. Front end is getting light. During practice, we lost it big time on that downhill. Feel that front end losing grip. Left, right. Something was definitely weird with that weather on that practice session. Alright, we're still P1, we're still holding P1. Kyle Wisner is still behind us, 4.5 seconds back. Logan Field 2, 5.8 seconds. Hernan Rosales, 8.3 seconds back. It's still anyone's race. I can make a mistake. I can slow down. Kyle Wisner gained that on us before at the first half of the Nurburgring Nordschleife on the last lap. So definitely can happen again. With that BMW starting to pull us in a little bit. Can we hold them off? Debris on the track. I appreciate the warning. It was on that outside, so I was able to hold it in. I had a feeling people were probably sliding into the dirt and bringing dirt back on the track. We don't need that on our tires now. Almost lost it there. Went way too hot into that section. Oh no! Oh, that was a hard hit. That was a hard hit. Oh, we got a little bit of wheel damage. I just felt it. It was off. I know for a fact we got some aero damage. So they're probably going to be catching us, especially here. silly mistake. But I'm glad we were able to recover from it really quickly, keep it moving. Problem is, I'm not able to hold straight line speed like I was before. Flashing me. They're gonna end up making it pass, I think. Front end damage is acting kind of like a parachute in a way with aero, and it's not able to really get that front end down. Understeering quite a bit more, and top end front straight line speed should be kind of messed up. You can see the McLaren behind us is just pulling us in like as if we're not really accelerating. Yeah, Hernan Rosales is gone. See if we could maybe kind of utilize the draft a little bit. Right now, I would normally be above 160. I just hit 160 now. And we were to hit a top speed of like near 170, 168. I'm only managing 161. So it's going to allow Logan Fields to really kind of pull us in. Yeah, it looks like he's just keeping his distance a little bit. Safety rating. Yeah, I'm aware. Last lap was a 6:58. Best lap was a 6:56, and that was lap 1. It shouldn't be the case. It's purely because of, you can see I can't even stay in it there like we were previously. And that's because of the aero damage, that front end damage. So, I mean, thank goodness we're still in the race. But, it's going to be tough to really kind of hold off everyone behind. And I really want to stay close to Logan Fields so that way we're at least getting the draft, having him pull us along. We got Kyle Wisner back behind us again, 4.8 seconds back. But if he doesn't have damage, he very well could just pull us. We're not out of this race yet. Anything could happen. One of the cars ahead could lose it. They could make a mistake. Coming in, white flag. This is the last lap. Last lap. The other side of it too is we could make another mistake. That was kind of a very silly mistake we made. We're even slower now. Going up this hill, 153. Woo! A little bit of a snap there from the rear end. Feel the car wanting to slide. That crazy understeer on that front end. The front end was getting light. Really got to be careful with braking. You really feel the car like wanting to snap oversteer. Just applying that brakes a little too hard, and especially if the weight balances over that front tire, it just wants to come around. Kyle Wisner fell a position back. We got Orlando Barrios behind us, 2.8 seconds back. I can see him. We are 4.6 seconds back behind Logan. and 15 seconds back from Hernan. Hernan was moving. He was moving. So see, we're like 1.6 something seconds slower than our best. Nice. So we still maintain the podium, guys. Woo! There we go. All right. So let's pull over where it's going to be safe. I don't think anyone's going to come down here. We'll get out of the car. There we go. All right. Nice. Nice. Podium. First race back. I'm very grateful that we got a little bit of practice, because normally we do not get any practice. We just jump right in and go, and it normally does not bode well for us. Looks like some cars are still on track. Run and finish. There we go. Here's the beginning. Oh, we had some crashing there right in the very beginning on turn 1. Actually, that's not turn 1. That's the last turn. See, we were hunting down P1 there. It was a good, had a good relief in timing between us and the cars behind. I think it was like, at this point we had like 4 seconds, 2 to 4 seconds. So it was a good, like, being able to like just focus on who was ahead of me, rather than really just, you know, focus on I'm in the middle of the pack. So I definitely highly recommend qualifying, and maybe taking qualifying seriously, because this actually worked out really good. You could see towards the back of the pack there was some wrecking that was happening. So if we would have just started without qualifying, really could have been dangerous for us. Oh, and that's where P1 lost it, and that's where we took over. Oh, big impact into the wall. Looks like he was able to bang it back out, but I don't know for how long, with what kind of damage. So let's move a little bit ahead. This is lap 2. And we had a good lead on the cars that were behind us. We were doing pretty good there. Let's fast forward to our incident. You can see, just, you can't really see the cars behind. We were moving. We were kind of by ourselves out there, doing well. But I just ended up losing the front end through just really driving too fast. And that's when we ended up, yep. Nope, right there it kind of started a little bit. I saw how that car like darted. It almost looked a little unnatural. And I was feeling kind of like something was up. First lap, the car felt really hooked down and good to go. This lap here, I started noticing the degradation a little bit. All right, so everyone's out of the session, or at least finished the race session, so we should be able to see our points, and hopefully no impact to the safety rating. We did have 4 incident points because we did have 2 off tracks, and then that one where we hit the wall. That's 2 points in itself. So each off track is 1, and then you have that 1 incident there. Yep, there it is. Boom. No bueno. No bueno. It really doesn't look like there's much besides the left front fender, but it was definitely, yeah, you could see that the tires pitched differently in that fender. Yeah, you can actually see that front end of that car shimmy, and that is something I was feeling in the wheel of. It wasn't too bad. Obviously, we were still able to race, but it was enough to rob top speed. See that front end kind of shimmying back and forth again. But it was enough where it cut down overall top speed. Let me actually try something too. Definitely want to see if... Nope, still kind of doing its thing, but it cut down overall top speed pretty drastically. But it also gave me this feeling, this overwhelming feeling of uncertainty behind the wheel. And that feeling of uncertainty behind the wheel kind of, it takes your confidence away. See, I'm like not shifting correctly. I'm not in the right gear. I'm more so thinking about kind of what just happened to the car, rather than thinking about the limits that I could push and really achieve, because I can't. I know the car is hurt, and I know I'm going to be slower, and that's replaying in the back of my mind, and I'm feeling it whenever I'm going around certain turns. I'm feeling the car shimmy, and I'm feeling the car understeer, and it's really just kind of not raising anxiety levels, but it's raising a lack of confidence level in the car. I know what I need to do, and that is essentially drive slower and drive more careful, so that way I can save the car and really make it to the end of the race. You know, it's like, you know, do you just kind of go for it, put the car in the wall, or do you, you know, let a few cars go by and still make it on the podium? And that's kind of the risk-benefit ratio that I was kind of running in my mind, especially being that these two guys were kind of running neck and neck. I know I called that second car McLaren earlier. I know it's Ferrari. But yeah, you had the McLaren and the Ferrari kind of just on my tail. And I just knew, you know, I wasn't going to be able to really be super competitive with a hurt car. But I knew, like, if I just made them work for it, there's a possibility they could have just made an egregious mistake and, you know, something like, you know, slowed down quite a bit, or maybe just like an off track. Not necessarily taking them out of the race. I wasn't trying to do that. I was just trying to make it where if they really wanted to get by me, they were going to have to work for it without making things too unsafe. And you can see, once I knew it was inevitable, they were going to make it by me, and things were kind of getting a little kind of overly competitive. You could see back here, what I ended up doing was I came off the racing line, and I knew he was on my tail. He was losing P1, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to let him go for it because I'm not going to be able to fend them off on that straight, right? But then he ended up making a mistake here and going in the dirt, and that was unrelated to me. That was just pressure related. So he's going to keep being in the dirt like he was there. I'm just going to take it back. I'm not going to wait for him. But eventually, he does make it by me again. You can see on this straight here, I'm just not really able to compete speed-wise, especially being that we already lost a car ahead in the draft. So let's see where he actually comes by. It seems like he's like holding his distance a little bit, even though we lost like 6 mile an hour, 7 mile an hour in the top speed. Car wasn't shimmying too much in the straight. It was pretty controllable, but you know, we lost speed there. So I know that you can hear that Ferrari is not bouncing off the rev limiter by any means. He's sandbagging a little bit, probably hoping I'm going to make a mistake right over here. But we end up kind of moving over and letting him by again. I think it's a little bit further down here when he attempts to make another run at it. Let's let this go for a little bit, and we'll see when he actually comes by. But you can hear, like, he's very low RPM. He's not really doing too much. But now he's getting aggressive. He's coming by. I left the window open, and I let him get it. Well, not that I let him get it. He was already coming by, but I moved over and I made sure to slow down to kind of allow him to get back to the racing line on the track, as you know, I know I'm not going to be able to really fight for position there. And at this point, I mean, it's an unfortunate thing to say, but I know my only hope is if one of them makes a mistake, and then I could come by that Ferrari, or even, you know, the McLaren's gone. He's running 630s. Our fastest lap was lap 1, which never really happens. You're putting heat in the tires, so I think we would have been in like the 640 range optimally, and he's running 630. So I know there's no chance, especially with a hurt car like this, unless he goes off into a wall and has to take himself out of the race. But I'm just hoping for this car ahead. Maybe he makes a racing mistake, not necessarily takes himself out, but you know, enough where he spins and then he has to get back on track, and we got like a good 10-11 second window to work with, you know, to have him try to catch up on this last lap. And I know it just doesn't happen at this point. But we made it on the podium. First race back, no real sizable practice. Yeah, I mean, what more can I ask for, right? So let's take a look and see kind of what we're looking like here, points-wise. Let's quit out of here. All right. So is it smoother? It's a little bit smoother. I don't know why. It's just the Elgato cameras. This is connected to the Elgato CamLink software, and it's not skipping. So very strange. Not sure what's going on there. And again, I apologize. I definitely have to make sure Windows is not doing some updates in the background, which always seems to get me. But anyway, yeah, let's take a look here. So race results. And this is an official race session. All right. So all right, we finished P3. So we ended up getting 77 I rating points, and we got a 0.1 on our safety rating. That's huge. You normally don't get that much on your safety rating unless like you're running like a perfect race. Let's see, even some of the A guys that had no incidences got 0.11, 0.08, 0.07. 0.07. Oh, minus 0.08, minus 0.07, but plus 0.11 for no incidence points. So we were very close there. I did have 4. The cars that were ahead of me, Logan Field had 10 incident points. Hernan Rosales had 11, and more than likely, let's see, where did Hernan start? He started P23, and let me watch my language. He won the race. Won the race. How crazy is that? Absolutely won the race from P23. So yeah, then you're going to have 11 incident points because you're going to be going on the grass quite a bit to make it around people safely. Wow. Best lap was a 6:46. I don't know why crew chief was saying 6:30 something. Maybe that's because of the incident points. The laps didn't count. So best lap that actually counted was a 6:46. Logan Fields, myself, Orlando Barrios was P4. Kyle Wisner, who was behind us, let's see, started P4, then was behind us for a good portion of like the first and second lap. Only had 1 incident point, but ended up finishing P5. So that rounds out the top 5 there. we did have 28 cars total. Some people didn't finish. Some people were a lap down, probably from that opening incident on lap 1. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cars disconnected from the race session, unfortunately. So there was definitely a lot of incidences that happened. But overall, we fared well. We got real lucky, and I'm going to call it here. Thank you, everyone, for joining in again. We do have Pimax, who is sending us the Pimax Crystal headset. It's going to be here very shortly. It's going to be here actually in the next few days. I already just got shipping information from DHL stating it's going to be delivered within the next few days. I do have many different headsets. If you haven't seen any of my old videos, I've been sim racing in VR since Oculus DK1 days. Back when I was taking a cell phone and using DIY software online that someone created to get a Samsung phone to kind of be like a piece together VR headset. And then afterwards we went Razer OS VR, which was another developer kit. And we've been kind of hanging with VR ever since. Taking a break from VR because of these monitors that I have. I absolutely love them. They're pretty budget monitors, just some Costco monitors, but I absolutely love this setup. But I cannot wait to jump back into our roots, and that's really VR sim racing. And yeah, we're going to be checking out this Pimax. So huge news. Thank you so much, Pimax, for letting me borrow the headset to give my unbiased review. And again, you know, they just let me borrow it, so I could be as honest as I want to, and I wouldn't do the review without that in the clause, that I could just, you know, say whatever I want to say. But yeah, I'm so excited to really give that headset a try and dive back into VR. I really need to fire up the old Pimax 5K Plus that I have, as well as, you know, really charging up the Meta Quest 3 that I have and getting those comparisons ready to go. But everyone, again, I'm Crash. This is RTA Motorsports. Definitely let me know what you thought about this race session. I am so stoked right now. I didn't even sweat that much. Normally completely covered in sweat. We actually did pretty good today. Need to set up my channel to accept redirects. I have no idea what that is, sir. Jesse. Oh, and then also, so it looks like kind of the skipping stopped a little bit. For some reason, Jesse, I don't know if you're just jumping in now, my Elgato cameras were skipping like crazy during the races, but my normal race view wasn't. So it wasn't that big of a deal. Not really sure what's going on there. So I don't know if you're running into any issues with maybe any recent Windows update. But I don't know. I've never had that where both my Elgato cameras are completely going crazy, but this one here was fine. I don't know. I'm not complaining. At least it wasn't this one that was messing up. But yeah, we'll talk offline and see what redirects is all about. And everyone, again, I spoke about it earlier, but Jesse of Cars and Coffees and myself, Mr. Crashadero, are going to be going to Monterey Car Week in 11 days, 10 days time. And we're going to be live streaming from there. We both got some setups going. We're going to be also taking some video footage. I don't know if Jesse's going to be doing some videos. I'm sure he will be. But he's all about that live stream game. I'm all about the video game. So I got some of my cameras ready to go. I'm going to be charging them, kind of getting some spare batteries and some cards going. But yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. We did go to Monterey Car Week 2 years ago, and it was more so just, you know, taking some pictures and really enjoying it and taking it all in. And we've been kind of waiting for the day that we get to go back, and this time really bring you all along for the ride with us. I'm very grateful at this opportunity that I could even do this and even go and see some of these amazing exotic cars. But if you never heard of Monterey Car Week, definitely take a look it up. I mean, Mecum Auto Auctions is there. There's the Pebble Beach concourse that's going on all at the same time. Exotics on Broadway. There's some really historic and classic car shows, all the way up to just some wild, crazy, exotic car shows, where 2 years ago, Horatio Pagani was there signing autographs and meeting fans. There was car shows. I mean, there was car clubs that had, you know, the Hennessy Venoms. There was just a row of Venoms just randomly sitting there. It was absolutely insane. and then Pagani's rolling down the center of Broadway. Beautiful rolling timepieces for dashboards and beautiful artwork as far as the engineering that has gone into those cars. I absolutely love Pagani's. Pagani's are, you know, if I hit the lotto for, you know, a few bill, whatever, that's going to be something I'm going to try to get because they are absolutely gorgeous rolling pieces of art. I'm just going to stop talking. You'll see in about 10 days when we roll down there and we bring you all along for the ride. Everyone that unfortunately cannot make it to this type of event, you're going to be able to experience it with us and party alongside of us. So everyone will be hanging out with you all in about 10 days time. Everyone, I'm Crash. This is RTA Motorsports. Definitely leave a like button, hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel for future videos. Again, we got that Pimax headset going to be coming through soon. Stay safe, stay happy. I'll catch you all next time.